Hi friends, welcome back. In the previous part, we have discussed all the important concepts of thermodynamics. There is another important concept, thermochemistry, which plays an important role in thermochemical reactions. This is also an important topic for all the competitive examinations. So, let's start the topic. Hello friends, in the previous parts we have discussed all the important topics of thermodynamics. Right, we have discussed about all the important concepts of first law and second law of thermodynamics. Now in this part we will be discussing about another important part for all the competitive examinations, that is thermochemistry. So what is thermochemistry? So thermochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with energy changes in chemical reactions. So basically in thermodynamics you will deal with energy changes in both physical processes and chemical reactions, right? So this part of chemistry which deals with energy changes in chemical reactions is actually thermochemistry, right friends? So thermochemistry also plays an important role in thermodynamics. And next important point, the energy change that occurs in chemical reactions is because of the bond energy. So each and every chemical has certain elements and compounds, right, associated with this. That means these elements are bonded with each other, and that energy which is responsible for those bonds is nothing but bond energy. So the energy change that occurs in chemical reaction is largely due to the change in bond energy. Next important point, change of internal energy in a chemical reaction. Let's understand what is actually the change in internal energy. This was interesting when we discussed about the first law of thermodynamics. Let's see how internal energy plays important role in a given chemical reaction. So let us consider a chemical reaction taking place at constant temperature and constant volume. And what happens friends, if the temperature is constant and volume is constant, work done will be 0, right? And change in internal energy will be Q, right? According to first law of thermodynamics, if here Q is the heat absorbed by the system, right, and W is the work done on the system, given that it is the change in chemical reaction is taking place at constant volume. So what does that mean? W will be 0, right? So what does now change in internal energy equals to? Change in energy equals to QV. What is QV in chemical reactions? Right, QV is the heat exchange at constant volume, right? Earlier in first law I told you that Q is nothing but heat absorbed by the system, but in a chemical reactions QV is the heat exchange at constant volume, or heat enthalpy of the reaction at constant volume, right? So QV is the heat enthalpy of the reaction at constant volume. So QV is equal to heat enthalpy of reaction at constant volume. Reaction at constant volume. So friends, so what is change of enthalpy in chemical reaction now? You know what is change in internal energy in a chemical reaction, right? And let's see what is the change of enthalpy in a chemical reaction. So let QB be the heat exchange in a chemical reaction taking place at constant pressure, right friends? In the previous parts also we have discussed, whenever we are discussing about QP, then enthalpy comes into picture, right? Whenever we discuss about QV, then internal energy comes into picture, right? Generally at constant pressure you will be dealing with enthalpies, at constant volume you will be discussing about internal energies. So here also the same situation friends, QP will be the heat exchange now, heat exchange again, QP is again the heat exchange, but remember it is happening at constant pressure, right friends? So then evidently delta H will be equal to QP, just like delta U is equal to QV, right? Nothing but heat enthalpy of the reaction at constant pressure. So this is what thermochemistry deals with. So friends, we have discussed introduction to thermochemistry. we have seen the role of enthalpy in a chemical reaction. So in thermochemistry, there are different types of enthalpy. Are you interested to know about different types of enthalpies in thermochemistry? Yes, you are interested. So we will discuss about them in our next part. So keep tuned friends. Have a good day. Goodbye.